What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode with Adventures with Chee. Today we're going to be talking about 4 specific things. Alright, no more gatekeeping. It's time to give you guys all the secrets. We're going to talk about where to find the fish, what to use to catch the fish, how we're going to catch the fish, and when to catch the fish. So, those are the big 4 points we're going to talk about. Hopefully I can help you guys catch more fish. As you guys can see, I'm going to pop things up here, and here, and here. I got questions. Everybody's asking me, what am I using? How am I catching them? So, I decided to drop a video for you guys and maybe help you guys catch some whitefish for yourselves. So, stay tuned to the video. We're also going to do a subscriber giveaway for you guys, announcement, as I reach my goal of 200 subscribers. So I want to say appreciate everyone for the support. Thank you guys for following along, and we're just going to keep growing. So we got big goals for 2026. So let's get right to it. Alright guys, so we're going to talk about where to find whitefish. So as you guys can see here, there's some steep drop-offs. I mainly target drop-offs. It's kind of like a fish highway. Think of it like that. Obviously here you guys can see that the dark blue is like shallow spots, and then as soon as you get deeper, and the lighter blue, it gets deeper, and then obviously the white is really deep. So if I were to kind of pick apart this area, what I would target is mainly wherever I can find that looks different from the rest. So obviously, as you guys can see here, you can kind of see this flat spot here before he drops off again. This is something that I would target. I would look at this, check out this stuff, fish here in the morning, see if I can mark any fish. Nothing, then maybe I would push out deeper and maybe fish in the drop off or on the outside of the drop off. Whitefish tends to travel within, they can travel up to shallow. I've caught them up to 3 feet of water. Obviously you guys saw in the previous videos, and I've also caught them pretty deep in like 40 feet of water. But yeah, so if you guys were out fishing, definitely utilize Navionics. They definitely help you out, show you what depth you are in. If it's not fully updated, sometimes it's not fully accurate, but for the most part, water levels are changing in Lake Michigan. Some spots aren't as deep as it says anymore. So now that we're gonna look over here by this point, things about it look pretty interesting. I might be showing maybe one of my spots here. If you guys find it, congrats. If not, well, it's whatever. But for those you guys can see here, this is like a nice, really nice spot because it looks different, right? So as you guys can see right here in this little junior area, this is kind of like gives you like a big little circle. We call this a hump here, and as you can see, one side's 16 feet, one side's 15, one's 18. So when you think of it kind of like a hill of a park. So these fish, what they do, they'll travel on top of the hill looking for gobies. Obviously that's their number one thing that they like to eat. So I checked this out and did pretty well, and also I went out deeper and caught some fish out deeper as well in the deeper, I guess, drop off, you could say. But typically, majority of the part, if you fish like 24, 25 feet of water, you will catch whitefish. You can catch them up shallow. But yeah, that's kind of my tip for you guys on where to find these whitefish. Alright, point number 2. We're going to talk about when to fish for whitefish. You go in the morning, in the night, middle of the day. I honestly have best when you do it early in the morning. It's kind of the peak time, and also right before sunset, maybe around 3-ish o'clock they kind of start turning on. And yeah, so I would definitely recommend, if you guys plan to go whitefish ice fishing, chasing after whitefish, you want to go in the morning, early in the morning, or maybe 2 hours before sunset. Middle of the day can be pretty tough. It's just whitefish are always on the move. And if you can find a spot where they tend to just move all day, that can be pretty lucky and you can catch a good limit. So, unless we can get to point number 3. Point number 3 is what to use So, I won't be gatekeeping anymore, and I will be showing you guys my secret lures. We're gonna talk about the gold tungsten jig here, guys. So I'm not sure. Is this gonna focus well, Teddy? Do I gotta hold it behind my hand? How's that looking? See pretty good?
Yeah, it keeps rotating. Keeps moving.
Want me to hold it like this?
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Alright,
Yeah.
so you guys can look and see this gold tungsten jig here. You guys can see where you can tie your line. It's on top of the lure. It's not really specifically on like, I don't know, like the old usual traditional tungsten jigs. But this is kind of like on top of the head, in the middle of the head, and it works really well. Reason why, as you guys can see, my tungsten jig sits vertical, you know, and obviously when fish eats your lure, they like it vertical. They don't like it when it's like, you know, sideways, or, you know what I mean, looking. Like, just think about it as if you're eating food. Do you like eating your food, a spoonful of food, upside down? No, you don't. It's weird. It don't fit right in your mouth. So you guys got to think about that. So, big shout out to this tungsten jig. I can't remember the product by itself, but I will be posting a picture right here. And yeah, so I usually use this. It's part with the eye gold. Gold's always been a hot color, but I've done a lot of damage, caught a lot of whitefish using this tungsten jig. Obviously the traditional one works just as well, but I guess the only thing, the downfall with that, is that it doesn't really have the verticalness like this one, so I don't really have to mess around with it as much, so it gets the job done. Another lure I'm going to talk about, let's say if you guys are fishing current, this is when, you know, you can't really mark your tungsten jig. Let's say you're fishing deep and you can't mark your lure, and it's kind of hard for them to bite when you can't mark your tungsten jig to make them chase it. So we're gonna be talking about the jigging wraps. I have a perch color here, and I have a goby color here. How's that looking, Taylor?
Okay, good.
Alright, so these are my number 2 top colors. Obviously, as you guys may know, when you guys cut up a goby, you can see, when you cut up a whitefish, there's gobies in its stomach. And nothing beats the goby color, honestly. I mean, walleyes eat this just as well. I mean, perch is also a decent, pretty good color. But yeah, so these are definitely my top 2 colors I like throwing. Usually I just kind of have wax worms tipped on the bottom, and then I usually have just a plain hook on top of the jigging wrap. So yep, those are my 3 lures. It's pretty basic, I guess. I'm pretty sure everyone else uses jigging Impalas. Not sure if the tungsten jigs with those, but that's what I use. Now, with the tungsten jig, you can use it. You can tip it with wax worms. Instead of like hooking it, I'm gonna use this plastic here, like this, kind of like general. Let's say if you're chasing after bluegills or crappies, you can hook it like this. But this works just as well for whitefish. This is kind of what I like using to do for whitefish. But let's say if you're using your traditional live wax worm, I usually like hooking them wacky rig style. So for you those bass fishermen, you guys know what I'm talking about. I usually hook it like that, so it looks like that. So, but otherwise, with the pink plastic and not the live wax worm, I usually hook it kind of like this. So when you guys notice, when you guys do buy these gulp pink wax worms, they kind of like, they're all like, I don't know, like kind of attached together. Thanks, Tilly. As you guys can see, they're all attached together. I usually just cut 2 pieces off. You cut 2 pieces off, and this is what it gives you. You cut one, you don't really have much of a tail. Obviously, you can see how dangly that thing is. Looks kind of sus there, but we're not gonna talk about that. But yeah, as you guys can see, There's the tail on that bad boy, and in the water, there's a lot of good action to it. So that's kind of one of my go-tos. Otherwise, if they're not really interested on biting that, this is the next one. We are gonna talk about the Berkeley Power Bait Pink Shine. Okay, I can give you guys a good zoom. Like I said, I'm not gatekeeping anymore. I want to help you guys catch whitefish. You know, it's good for sport to help other people catch whitefish. You know, it's never being too greedy. As you guys can see there, it's called a swordtail. If you want to zoom in to this spot right here. So there you guys go. If you guys are curious what I'm using, that is what I've been doing most of my damage on. And how I hook this thing, I like having the pink side up, white side down. I guess it's just really up to you guys on preference, but I believe it's made for the pink side up. So I mean, if you guys didn't know that, but I usually hook it up like that, just like that, and then oops, let me just fix that bad boy right there. So obviously if I'm fishing, looks just like that. Oops, how's that looking, Taylor?
Looks good.
Looks good. So that is what I do most of my damage on. Combo rise, I recommend using any medium lights to a medium action, nothing heavier than a medium. You want that soft tip. As you guys can see, if I was to jig, you guys can really see like the softest tap, you know. So that's really important. So yeah, that is my point on what I use, and hopefully you guys can catch some whitefish as well. Alright guys, lastly, point number 4. It's gonna be how to catch the fish. I give you guys the location, where to find fish, what time, and also what to use. So we are going to talk about how to catch whitefish. So for this instance, I guess I'm gonna be using I guess, like, let's say this goby is a whitefish, but whatever. So this is the bottom, right? You good? See? So this is the bottom here. I usually like jigging my tungsten jig off the bottom, maybe about a foot. Let's say realistically, honestly, it's not a foot, but this is the bottom here. I usually like jigging hard, nothing too crazy, just medium jigs. And these whitefish, as you see on Live Scope or Vaxlars, whatever you guys use, these whitefish will swim off the bottom really fast to it, and I'm jigging, right? You want to consistently keep jigging to keep these whitefish interested. Because if you guys, let's say, you guys decide to lift up and these whitefish hasn't even got to your lure and you're already lifting up, they're not going to commit and eat your lure unless you get one that's really aggressive. But for this instance, this is what I like to do. I jig high. These whitefish will come up, and I'm usually not jigging too hard. Once I start marking a fish, kind of do softer jigs, and then when they get really tight to your lure, that is when you stop jigging, and that is when you slowly lift up, and that is when they bite. Now, it's a really key factor to not lift up too fast when they come up to your lure, because if you lift up too fast, they're going to lose interest and swim off. So it's really key to time it right, is when that whitefish swims up and you're like jigging softly and they're coming up really close to your lure, slowly then start to lift it, because that's when they're going to eat it. So definitely it's all about executing. You know, a lot of people make that mistake. They usually either, you know, start lifting up too early when the fish is starting to come up to it and they're lifting too early. The whitefish will swim off. They don't like really chasing it too high, you know what I mean? So, but usually if you get ones that do come up and about to look at your lure, and right when they get on that lure, slowly lift up and usually feel that tap on your rod, and that'll get the job done. Now we're gonna talk about jigging wraps. Usually, I mean, it's pretty common. Everybody uses a slider, I'm pretty sure. If you haven't heard, I mean, if you haven't, well, most people use sliders. And what I mean by slider, I don't really have this tied on, but I can show you guys on this other rod here. One of my dad's rods. So let's say, you know, there's current and you obviously can't use the tungsten jig technique. So you're just using a jigging wrap, and obviously what I'm doing, I like jigging off the bottom, and usually I use a gold plain hook, maybe about roughly 1.5 feet high from the jigging wrap. And the technique that I like doing in the current is when you're jigging and when I'm letting it go all the way to the bottom, and the current is gonna push my line obviously to the right or left, whatever which way it goes. And when I lift up again, my jigging wrap is actually moving, so it's actually swimming. And now most times when the whitefish come and eat, they're gonna eat my top hook, because as I usually tip it for wax worm. And so what it ends up looking like, every 3-4 seconds I'll jig off the bottom and let it sink back to the bottom with slack line. And what that does is that it's just kind of just swimming, you know, hop in the bottom. And usually, you know, when you have that current, you give it slack line, and when that current pulls in your line, I usually count 3 seconds, pull up, 3 seconds, pull up, 3 seconds, pull up. You won't feel the bite. Honestly, 100% of the time when you're gonna get a fish, you're gonna pull up and you're gonna feel the fish on it. It's just gonna feel heavy, and that's when you kind of pull into it, set the hook. With this technique, if you're around a lot of zebra mussels, you can definitely get snagged on zebra mussels, but you know, it's kind of the way it goes with fishing current with these lures. The only thing I don't like about using these when slack water is that these, obviously, you know, opalas, they swim around a lot and they can accidentally, you know, hit the whitefish when it's attracted. You know, it's going to be trying to eat it, but it keeps moving around. If it gets hit by it, it's going to swim away most times or not. So that's why, you know, I typically only do this when there's current, when I'm fishing in current. Otherwise, I'm using a tungsten jig to get the job done in slack water. Other than that, I guess another key thing, I guess, to really look for, to end it off for you guys, I didn't really speak too much about, is kind of like, what kind of bottom do you want? Do you want sand bottom, rocks, zebra mussels? My biggest advice to you all is, if you can find a mixture of rocks and a little bit of sand, is part of the best, just because that's where the gobies are going to be. If you just get full sand, obviously there won't be much gobies, but I mean, whitefish will be swimming through and still looking for, you know, something to eat still. But most times than not, if you can find rocks, you either use an underwater camera, or let's say if you're fishing shallow, like I said, 15 feet of water down, water's getting clear up in, you know, Sturgeon Bay area, you can definitely see the bottom. If you can find rocks, you will find whitefish and walleyes. So, last but not least, that is about it. I hope you guys enjoy the video.
Forgot about your giveaway.
I know, I'm getting there. I hope you guys enjoy the video. And my last thing, I want to give you guys, you know, for the support, for giving me 200 subscribers for my goal. My goal now for next giveaway is 5 subscribers, because then I will be monetized. So, but I'm hoping, you know, I can get there for this year, for year 2026. But other than that, I want to give a giveaway announcement, and I'll be giving away a JT ice fishing rod, medium light. It's perfect for whitefish. So I'm doing this giveaway. I'm drawing it, I believe, January 31st. And, you know, there's only 3 simple steps. I'll just be showing you guys a picture right here. And all you guys gotta do is just follow the Ventures with Chee Facebook page. Comment down, tag 3 friends, family members, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. 3 simple things could get you one into ice fishing rods. So I just want to say thank you guys for making it this far. I hope this helps you guys catch more whitefish. I mean, I've been doing this for over 10 years, 15 years now. I grew up fishing for whitefish, so I learned a lot. So I hope you guys can catch some for you guys for yourself. And thanks for watching. See you guys on the next one.